as this cools, this is gonna thicken up. And yo, mornings, breakfast, toast will never be the same again. It's just incredible. Just look at that niceness now. Ooh, papa, yo. I'll just quickly show you what I'm doing. This part here is going to go into the rubbish. What we need to do, and I've got the wash kumquats. I don't know if you guys can see them there. And washed really well. You're going to cut it down the center, and then you're going to cut it into segments. So I'm doing this into 6 pieces. And you can do it whatever way works best for you. Now what we need to do is remove the little stem and the sort of white pit, the white area, as well as the seeds. It will take a bit of work, but this is what you're left with. Again, I'll show you with this one here. All I'm doing is, and you need a sharp paring knife to be able to accomplish this. That's going to go into the rubbish. Try not to get any seeds. And I'm trying to get them all pretty much the same thickness. So yeah, it will take a bit of work, but it's well worth it once you've had this sort of jam slash marmalade. It will take a while. Yo, this took about 40 minutes to do, right? But the point is, at the end, when you taste this jam slash marmalade, you'll be like, what? It's gonna be rocking, I'm telling you, man. So we're gonna dump that all in there, move that around. We need the juice of 2 lemons. We need the zest of 2 lemons. Now when you're doing the whole lemon zesting, wash your lemons really well. And the reason why I say that is because you don't know what sort of chemicals or what sort of spray the lemon trees may have been sprayed with, and some lemons may also have been treated with wax because you don't know when they were picked. Yeah, so be mindful of that. I mean to say the other option is, yeah, it's a lot of sugar in there. 2 cups of sugar. You can cut back the amount of sugar you use, but the other option is to get organic kumquat, totally up to, not kumquats, lemons, because that's the one we're zesting, and use that kind of pesticide free and all them kind of thing, hopefully. The sort of final thing is 1 cup of water. Later on I may adjust that, but for now we're using 1 cup of water. We're gonna give this a good mix, yeah, and then we're gonna let it sit there with the stove off because we want that to macerate in there. Not with a B, macerate, no bees. Oh boy. Anyhow, we leave that there to do its thing. Couple hours. I've got 2 cups of dried sorrel. That is what I'm on and source here in Canada. Here I have a piece of cotton fabric. I got it at the dollar store, and it's supposed to look like a cheesecloth basically, but 100% cotton. And I'm making what's called a bouquet garni, and in there, and it just allows me to separate things. So I have a stick of cinnamon. We need some cloves, so I'm going to shake some cloves in there. Ooh, too much cloves. Oh yeah, and trying to. Right, and we also need some bay leaves. I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3. And what it allows me to do is to wrap this up. I can wrap this up, tie it up, and then just dump that in there. So later on when I want to fish that out, and I'll show you why, I'll be able to fish that out. Next up we need water, and I'm going to go in with 4 cups of water in total. So that's 2. I'm going to add 2 more cups of water. You know, when cooking is all about watching and adjusting and stuff like that, so I ended up with 6 cups of water. I'm going to turn the stove on, bring it up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, we're going to allow that to simmer and reduce and pull out all the flavors from there and intensify the liquid. I've got a lovely bubble going on there. And you notice how it's starting to bleed through already, getting that lovely red color that we know sorrel brings to the game. Turn my heat down so we have more of a simmer going, and I'm going to allow that to go. Shift our attention to over here now where we had the kumquats and sugar macerating in there. So I'm going to turn my stove on medium-high heat. I'm going to bring that up to a boil just as we did the sorrel, but then I'm going to reduce it even lower than the sorrel, and let that go until it's nice and tender, and we pull out all that flavor and we get all that niceness happening in there. I turned the stove off after an hour, and it's been sitting here now for about 10 minutes. It's kind of cooling down a little bit, this too. And you'll notice everything has rehydrated. We've got that lovely deep rich red color. Here's where now I'm going to fish the sort of sap that we made, the bouquet garni. I'm going to take that, remove it. I'm going to grab a couple tablespoons of the rehydrated sorrel, the sorrel petals, and I'm going to set it aside, and then we're going to strain the rest of it. We want the sort of liquid on the bottom there, but we need a couple tablespoons of that. So there we go, set aside 2 tablespoons. Now I'm going to strain this, and I'm going to really press it down when I'm straining it, because I want to get all of that juice out of there. I'm going to return the petals that we reserved, and I'm going to put that liquid in there now. Then I'm just going in with my stick blender here and breaking up that into smaller pieces. I had the kumquats cooked in that syrup there for about an hour. I'm just bringing it and allowed it to cool down a bit while I was working with the other side of things, which is the sorrel. So I have it on a low heat, and I'm bringing it back up to temperature. And I just want to I'm going to skim all of this foam off and toss it into down the sink. After which I'm going to pour it in here, like so. And we're going to work that in there. Now all that lovely marmalade color that you're accustomed to is just, it's gone. It's gone forever. Now we've added that sorrel in there. We brought in that Caribbean vibe to things. I'm just going to warm this up, let everything come together, maybe another 10-15 minutes, and then that's just going to cool down. And boy, oh boy, at this point, give it a little tasty taste and make sure it's nice and sweet to your liking as well, yeah? It's been going for 10 minutes on that sort of rolling boil there. I'm going to turn the stove off now, and I'm going to allow that to cool. As it cools, it will thicken up, so keep that in mind. But just look at that niceness there. The house will smell like Christmas. If you are from the Caribbean, you'll know what I mean with the sorrel. And yo, it's the best thing we're doing here, man. Look at that. What's up, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I'm trying to tell people the email address. Them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pod. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irene. The stove has been off for about 15 minutes, and you can see already how it started to thicken up and crystallize on the edges of the stove, on the pot here. So the more it cools, the thicker it will get. Remember, we got specks of that sorrel in there, the kumquats. It's a beautiful combination. Chrissy at CaribbeanPod.com. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the finished product because I'm allowing this to cool. It is about almost 11 p.m. when this is all said and done here, and I have a flight to catch at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm heading out to Edmonton for to be part of the Carry West festivities. I'm doing a brunch out there, and if you're lucky enough to be there, you'll be trying my sorrel, kumquat, marmalade, jam, whatever you want to call it. Yeah? So look how nice that is, no? The sheen. Yeah, and as it cools, it will clarify a bit more. You will get a strong red, vibrant color with specks of that orange color in there.